One of the biggest debates and wonders going into Mortal Kombat 11 is if we will see the return of character skins, or will we get a gear system like we saw in the most recent NetherRealm game, Injustice 2. I think it's appropriate to talk about this now because we will probably know the answer as to what we will get once the game is officially announced, because when Injustice 2 was announced, NetherRealm also gave word about the gear system in a press release. So in today's video, I'm going to be talking about the pros and cons of skins and gear, and at the end, I will say which one I think we will get in MK11. So let's talk about the gear system first by naming the pros and cons about it if it's in MK11. Right now, the gear system gives players a reason to keep playing the game and keep their investment in the game. So it would likely be the same way if it was for MK11, and I'm sure NetherRealm would love to have loads of reasons for their players to keep their investment in their game. Another pro for this is that people are just suckers for a more flexible character customization system in any game that allows you to play as your favorite character. When you're able to scroll through different options as to what you want your character to look like in specifics, like what kind of things you want on their head, legs, arms, etc., people just love that stuff, and so do I. I love what they did on Raiden. I love the work they did on Raiden in Injustice 2. His gear was absolutely fantastic. There was variety, it stayed true to the character, and almost all of the time he looked awesome in the game. Now let's get into the cons, because there's definitely some to talk about that personally kill the gear system for me. With the gear system, it is very rare, and I mean very, very rare, you will be able to create a loadout that would act as a skin. And what I'm saying is that you can't make Raiden in Injustice 2 look exactly like Dark Raiden in Mortal Kombat X if you wanted to, or even his primary Mortal Kombat X like a skin would. Not being able to have that option just doesn't feel right since we've become used to it when playing a NetherRealm title. Another con is that you unlock these gear pieces through loot boxes and the multiverse, but the main source of unlocking gear is through the loot boxes, and because of that, you are grinding for an unknown goal. You can literally grind for an entire day, 24 hours, and it's kind of sad that it's very likely you won't be getting the gear piece that you want. This is literally what insanity is, doing something over and over again and expecting a different outcome each time, and to me, that's just not fair to the player in any way. The last con I'll talk about is that there's a lack of variety with the visuals with a lot of the characters, and you run that risk if you're going to integrate this system into Mortal Kombat. Just take a look at Black Canary's gear. There's not much change with her. There's just a couple of masks and jackets with less or more spikes, and it's really not that interesting. That's not to say that there's not some characters out there with variety in their gear, but I'm just saying I do not want to run that risk of no variety in my Mortal Kombat game. Now let's talk about character skins and some of the pros and cons if you bring this back. And to start with the pros is that there will be tons of variety with the skins. Every new skin that you acquire will look completely different from the one that you already have on. And in some cases, because a specific character skin looks so cool and different from their primary, it makes you want to get that skin and play that character and learn that character because you've gotten that visual appeal that maybe the primary costume didn't give you. Another positive is that if you want to unlock a certain skin, you have a clear goal to work towards, whether that would be playing through that character's arcade ladder and finishing it to unlock their alternate skin, or earning a certain amount of coins and going to this specific location in the crypt to unlock that skin, or playing through the King of the Hill mode and beating a certain amount of opponents. Having a clear goal to work towards makes the player feel like they know what they're doing, and that seems all but fair to me. However, as much as I like the skin system, there are some cons, and let's get into the cons. So the first con is that since people love to have the ability to have a more flexible customization system, that is going to be completely taken away with just having character skins. We all know that with just plain skins, we can't have the ability to change certain aspects on that character skin and how they look. What you get is what you get, and in some cases, that could be a little annoying. The next con is that there is a trend in the NetherRealm titles where there will be some characters that have a very small selection of skins to choose from, and there are some other characters that get a ton of skins to choose from. Now that is something very, very unfair to the player who only has a selection of 3 skins to choose from, while another player has like 6 skins to choose from. Characters like Scorpion and Sub-Zero always get the most skins in the game, while some other characters get either none or under 5. But with the gear system, you have hundreds of customization options just like everybody else does. Overall, both character skins and the gear system have their pros and cons, but one thing they both have in common is that they are both popular among the community, and they are both loved by them as well. Gear can be treated as an Injustice gimmick, and skins can be treated as a Mortal Kombat gimmick, and it could be a possible way to make them seem like 2 different franchises. So for me personally, I want to see the return of character skins in the game over the gear system. I really do enjoy having the option to choose which design I want for my character from a previous game. I want to see Deception Sub-Zero and MK11 as a skin. It's been too fucking long since we've gotten that skin again, and I don't know why it wasn't an MKX, and I don't know why they aren't gear pieces in Injustice 2. However, I am not too confident in saying that I think the gear system will be ditched completely. As I said, this feature is super popular, and there are a lot of people who like this more than people who dislike this, and I'm sure those who are big fans of the system will want this in MK11. But you cannot ignore the demand of having character skins return. People just like what's already been established. The loot box system in general has become the norm in modern games, and I think it will be a long while until we see that go away. So I do think we will see the return of the gear system for MK11, where you will be able to customize your character with the hundreds of gear you were given with by the loot boxes, but I also believe we will get normal traditional skins as well, where they aren't unlocked through loot boxes, but through the crypt. First of all, you cannot get rid of the crypt in favor of loot boxes. The crypt is a staple to Mortal Kombat games. Second, the main thing about the crypt is to unlock skins. So if you take that away, not many people are going to be in the crypt. I mean, I still will. I love unlocking concept art. That to me is interesting. But looking at the majority of people, I don't think they play the crypt for concept art. They do it for skins. Injustice 2 shows that you can still do gear and skins in the same game. And although Injustice 2 handles skins by actually changing the character and not having something like classic Green Lantern, I think NetherRealm has the full capability to bring in the premier skin option in MK11, but that option also includes just straight up skins from another game or a new skin that they come up with, whether it's a different character or not, and it just makes sense. You can unlock gear through the loot boxes, and you unlock skins through the crypt and coins. And this is just like how it is in Injustice 2, minus the crypt of course. So with that, the grind will still be present for the game, and the clear goal of unlocking a certain thing is also there. Again, it's the best of 2 worlds, and it would satisfy everyone. I'm honestly hoping this will be the case, but obviously I cannot say for sure. This is just me speculating and what I'm hoping comes for us. What do you guys think of my idea? Would you guys rather have skins or gear in MK11, or my new made up idea that I just came up with in this video? Let me know in the comments, and if you enjoyed this video, make sure to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe to stay tuned for more Mortal Kombat 11 content. That's all for today, fellas, and I'll see you guys in the next video.